Greetings viewers, this is Yamato coming at you with another video. And today, this might be the biggest unboxing I've ever done. As you can see here, we're going to be unboxing the perfect grade Strike Freedom Gundam. And I must add that I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. When I first saw this available, I want to say it's over 10 years ago by now. I've been wanting to get it, but the timing just wasn't right. I finally was able to talk with a local hobby store. They were able to get this for me, and here it is. I was somewhat of a fan of Gundam Seed, many years ago when it was on Toonami, I want to say, or maybe Adult Swim, one of them too. If you've seen Adult Swim or Toonami, then your childhood was great. Now then, the Strike Freedom was definitely one of my top favorites, just because it was one of the main characters, Top Gundam. But really, though, it was just the aesthetic. It kind of reminded me of the Wing Gundam in a way, just because the Strike Freedom had wings, or in this case, dragoons on its back. Of course, the standard colors as well. White, blue, a little bit of red. Basically, the standard main Gundam colors, if you will. But for those who recall, some time ago I actually made a review on the real grade Strike Freedom Gundam, and personally wasn't one of my favorite kits. When I was doing the review, many pieces were falling off, and I was just not a fan of it. So I'm hoping things would be different with the much bigger version. For those of you who are unfamiliar with perfect grade Gundams, all of them are 1/60th scale, whereas master grades are 1/100 and real grades are 1/144, and high grades, I want to say they're 1/144 also. If I am mistaken, please correct me in the comments down below. In my review of the real grade Strike Freedom Gundam, I did give an origin of the Strike Freedom. So if you want to get a much better idea, be sure to check that video out. But I'm going to do my very best to recall the origin of the Strike Freedom. But before I do, I need to share the origin of Kira Yamato, who is the pilot of the Strike Freedom Gundam. Kira Yamato was actually born a twin, and his twin was her name was Calgary. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing the name right, so do excuse me. Kira's father, Olin, needed a test subject for his artificial room, and the test subject ended up being Kira Yamato. And the purpose of the artificial room was a device made to handle the birthing process of coordinators. And actually, that's what ended up becoming of Kira Yamato. He became a coordinator, which, from what I remember, it was they were just born differently, just so they can be able to pilot mobile suits, or just be able to handle much better thought process or brain process. Actually, to get a better definition of a coordinator, if you do excuse me, I had to look it up, but coordinator typically has a number of enhanced traits, including faster learning and stronger and faster bodies that are virtually immune to disease. And the genetic modifications that created the coordinator had to be performed in the early stages of embryonic development. Hence why Kira Yamato had to be experimented on when he was an infant. Oh, excuse me, not fetus. Not fetus, I don't know. Not infant, but Kira was a fetus when he had to be inserted into an artificial room in order to become a coordinator. But fast forward to when Kira was around 15 years old, he was attending an engineering college, and in the a colony called Heliopolis. Hoping I'm pronouncing these words right. Fortune, though, At January 25th, Heliopolis was attacked by Zap forces, and the colony was thrown into chaos. Now, in the Zap forces, it was actually there was one person that Kira recognized. It was actually his childhood friend, Athrin Zala. During this attack, there were 4 mobile suits offline. 2 of which that Kira interacted with was the Strike Gundam and the Agus Gundam in a production facility. Now, they were obsolete at the moment. However, Athrin Zala was able to pilot the Agus Gundam, whereas the Strike Gundam was actually piloted by a mysterious young lady, which ended up being Kira's twin sister, Cagali Eula Athla. However, she was unable to pilot properly, so Kira decided to take control of the Strike Gundam, and he was actually able to properly pilot that Gundam in order to counter off the Saf forces. Now, to fast forward, both Kira and Athrin were to face each other. Kira in the Strike and Athrin the Angus. Now, in this encounter, Athrin actually defeated Kira by using a self-destruction sequence in the Angus, and in the process, the Strike Gundam was destroyed. And Athrin thinking that Kira died, but Kira survived. Now, as for the Freedom Gundam that Kira eventually piloted, the Freedom Gundam was actually created by Zaft, and along with the chairman of the Plan Supreme Council, Patrick Zala. So Kira actually stole the Freedom Gundam with the help of Lacus Klein, someone that Kira was interested in. But they end up stealing the Freedom, and Kira Yamato piloted Freedom all throughout the Gundam Seed series. It wasn't until Gundam Seed Destiny, the sequel or predecessor to Gundam Seed, that Kira faced off against Shin in his the Impulse Gundam. Shin was piloting the Impulse Gundam, and because of that fight with Kira, he actually defeated Kira and destroyed the Freedom with the Impulse Gundam. The Strike Freedom was developed by the Zaft as a prototype machine for eventual mass production, whereas the development itself, which had started in the same time period as its predecessor, was behind schedule and could not be completed in time due to technical limitations in developing the Dragoon system, which is you can say the back wings of the Strike Freedom. Those 8 blue pieces all around, 4 on each side of the Strike Freedom. In time, though, the Strike Freedom was redesigned and modified on the basis that it would become Kira Yamato's personal mobile suit. And the Strike Freedom debuted during the later parts of the Second Alliance Plant War, when Kira boarded the Internal in a damaged Strike Rouge after coming to the aid of Andrew Waltfield's Gaia Gundam. He then launched the Strike Freedom to defend the ship from a Zap attack force. The Strike Freedom became Kira Yamato's Gundam throughout the remainder of Gundam Seed Destiny. That was a very lengthy intro or origin of Strike Freedom, but I want to be sure I get as much information as I can about the background of the mobile suit. Now, granted, I'm not going to try to share every little detail, or else this video would be a lot longer. But for those who are interested in the Gundam Seed or Gundam Seed Destiny, then I highly recommend you give those shows a shot. I've heard a few things about them. I remember when I was young, I did enjoy them. But some people in the fan base will argue otherwise. But all that aside, I hope you do enjoy that little background of Strike Freedom. But with that being said, let's get straight to the box. So you can see here that it has a really nice pose for the Strike Freedom. The Dragoon system is just spread out. Has a nice little inner frame for the Dragoon system, and I want to say that it's going to have a nice little inner frame too. Most perfect grades, I would say, has a inner frame before you put the armor on. But I would say this is pretty impressive. I like that really nice striking pose. No pun intended due to Strike Freedom, but that aside. But if we can get a closer look, let's see. Okay, so it says here the model number ZGMF X20A, pilot Kira Yamato, height 18.88 meters, weight 80.09 tons. The armaments has the two rail cannons, has two high energy beam rifles, which can combine, has two beam sabers, and of course the Super Dragoon mobile weapon wing mounts, which there are 8, 4 on each side, and a beam shield. So those are all of its armaments and weapons. I just noticed that this has a little like a background Strike Freedom here too. I'm going to try to show this the best I can, because this is a, gonna move that aside, a pretty big box. So on the side, it shows certain parts here, the Super Dragoon system. I want to say these might be stickers from what this is showing me, and I was right. There is some nice inner frame. I'm hoping the inner frame is all solid gold, but if need be, I will paint over it, but want me to find out. The figurine of Kira Yamato. Let's see. But knowing this, they would just be all white, so may need to paint over that. And this, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is actually the number 2,500 yen, which is the asking price for this kit, or 250 US dollars. So yeah, this is definitely an expensive kit, but I will say I did not spend that much to get this one. But I can say this is probably one of the more expensive kits I did get. So on the other side, you have the Strike Freedom in a much more action pose, definitely having the beam rifles attached to each other. Definitely in a much more shooting position, shooting pose. So very, very interesting. I will say that much. And if you get close up here, just said the exact same things that sit on the other side. Beam shield, the Dragoon system, the beam saber, beam cannon, railgun, high energy beam rifle, and everything else. So here you just have, looks like this comes with a display base, which is really good plus. There's a light gimmick, so most perfect grades actually have has some LEDs. I don't think the batteries are included, but I want me to find out. And it seems like there's some nice possibility. Alright, so with that being said, let's get this box open, shall we? I'm going to try to get this in this frame the best I can. Well, I actually have this upside down. Okay. For the sake, I'm just going to put the box away. Oh wow, I wasn't kidding. This is definitely one of the bigger. This is going to be definitely one of the biggest reviews I've ever done on this channel. So, to start off, these are definitely the inner frame for the Dragoon system. And it looks like that gold seems pretty good, so I may not paint over it. More pieces for the Dragoon system. And it looks like these are the pieces for the feet, I would say. These pieces look like used for the waist, and I want to say for the shoulders as well. And maybe for the feet. But, very nice. More pieces for the feet. And I would say this actually looks a little bit dull compared to the other runner, so I'll take a closer look at that. I may paint over this one. And some chrome pieces here. And some small pieces here. It looks like they all connect. It wouldn't surprise me if these look like fingertips. And here we have the Dragoons. So this is just to see how big this is going to be. Here's the size of my hand. So these seems pretty big. We got here some white pieces. I can tell these are going to be used for the waist. And it looks like there's some paint lining I can work on there as well. The V-fin for the Gundam. And the other figurines for Kira Yamato, the figure and the pilot version. So like I said, yep, all white. And if I have a good steady hand, I can paint over that. And there's some clear pieces on the bottom. I would say definitely used for the head, and I would say for the weapons as well. More pieces for the Dragoon system. I'll say these pieces might be used for the railguns. I'm not really so sure what these are for, but I'm gonna find out soon. Some of my pieces definitely going to be used for the either the Dragoon system, the wings, or I'll say the arms for the shield here. Yep, and these is for the railguns. And here's that energy shield right there. And okay, so this gold is not that, doesn't really stand out, so I'm definitely going to be painting over these. Oh, more of the same. These look like, I want to say either for the chest or the waist. But yeah, definitely will be painting over these. Oh, there's a lot more than I thought. Some nice pieces here. I would say for the shoulders. Yep, definitely going to be painting over these gold pieces. Looks like this is for the upper body, and maybe some parts of the Dragoon system as well. Yeah, these definitely are for the Dragoon system, but we'll definitely be painting over these. Some more gold pieces. Can't really say where these are going to go, but we'll be painting a lot. I can say that for certain. And more pieces for the Dragoon system. These are for the legs, for sure. Here's the action base and the 2 beam sabers. More runners for the Dragoon system. More gold pieces that looks like I will be painting over. Some red pieces I can tell for the railgun and for the beam shield or the gauntlets, and some pieces for the railgun. I want to say this is for the upper body or even the mid body, in the abdomen or chest area. I want to say, oh, now it's also for the head, I can tell. I want to say I'll be painting over these as well. Can't tell if they're just the right color or they need to pop up just a little bit more. I haven't decided yet. I'll see how this compares to the other runners. Almost done, I promise. Maybe more white pieces, definitely for the legs, and I would say for the arms as well. It definitely looks like some areas have for some paint aligning, so we'll be working on that. More pieces, and it seems like these aren't as red as I was hoping for them to be. I may paint these as well, because these look like red pinkish. So I may paint over these just so they can stand a little bit better. I mean, I know I'm painting the gold, so I might as well paint the red, right? And here's some blue for the feet. More pieces for the feet and railgun. And it looks like these are used for the Dragoon system. It looks like this comes with the LED light for the head, as I mentioned earlier. And doesn't look like there are any batteries, but there's some springs here, so I wonder what those are for. So yeah, no batteries. And here is the really big Ashen base. So the one thing I am happy about that this does come with the Ashen base. So that's going to be pretty nice to see how this all going to look put together. We got some decals here, and these are some gold stickers. I thought they were actually going to be like plastic, part of the kit, on the runners, but it seemed like these are going to be attached to the Dragoons. So it's going to be all kits and then place these for effects. And finally, seems like we got some paper here. We have the construction manual. I'm just going to place that to the side for right now. And we have this one, the instruction. Oh, okay, we have construction manual and an instruction manual. Well, similar, this got bend. So some nice artwork here. So it seems like this was actually, this is discussing, from what I can tell, what was the premise of creating this kit, and along with why they decided to pick the Strike Freedom and turn it into a perfect grade. I know they have the real grade, which I made a review on. They made a master grade, a high grade, and I think they made an MGEX, which is kits that based on what is correct from wrong, but I want to say they're have some metal in them, or at least they have the inner frame already built and you just need to just add the armor on top. I could be wrong. I have not built an MGX kit yet, but I know they can be as expensive as perfect grades. I say that because the MGEX kits are master grade size, so 1/100 scale, and they're roughly the same price as perfect grades. So I don't know if I'll be getting those anytime soon. But it seems like there's some more lore here, like basically the battles that the Strike Freedom had in the Gundam Seed Destiny series. A little bit with what I mentioned earlier. So it seems like there's some fights here, Strike Freedom, and that looks like the Destiny Gundam. Right there facing off against the Strike Freedom. And it seems like you have all the pilots here, along with all the Gundams. So here you have Kira Yamato with the Strike Gundam. You have Athwan Zala with the Angus. Here's Shin with the Destiny. And there's Kira again with the Strike Freedom. I can't remember what these two are. And over here we have the Gundam Stray red and blue frame. I can't recall the pilot's name either. Here is the Gundam Stray blue frame, right here where my pink is at. And here you have the mark locations of all the decals and all the stickers and labels that they will go on certain parts of the kit, and of course certain parts of the Dragoon system, and a color palette, of course, for the kit, the figure for Kira Yamato, along with the pilot version of it as well. That's it for that. And the construction manual. Move these just a little bit more. So it gives you a really good idea just how many runners are there. So I can tell there's from 8 through V alone, and some of these are dual runners. So V have 2 runners, U has 2 runners, T, Q, H has 2, G has 2. So yes, many runners. And there's more here. There's that action base I mentioned, the beam shield. So this goes beyond Z, so definitely more than 26 runners. But since there are some doubles here, it wouldn't surprise me if this gets close to 50. So yeah, definitely, by far one of the biggest kits I am going to put together. So it starts up with the feet and onto the legs. I do like it that it tells you which runners you'll be using to create each part. Some manuals do this, some manuals do not. So the fact that this one does show you, to me, is really good, so you know which runners that you'll be using for the parts. And of course, for those who have built gunpla before, the legs are always the longest to build. So we got the waist along with the railguns. We got the torso. The head, and this is where they're going to show you how to incorporate the LED. And also tells you what lights you'll be needing. So I need to get some LR41s. It also shows you that you just need to remove a piece on top just so you can switch the so you can turn it on and off. Now we got the arms. And I was right, so they have individual parts for the fingers, which is a little bit different. I actually have built a perfect grade before, and sometimes the fingers are actually just already attached, or they have certain runners that just have the entire hand. You just need to fold it in place to make it functioning. But no, they actually have individual pieces. You gotta put those pieces together. Very interesting to see how this is going to turn out. So more on the arms and the shoulders. The backpack, but not the dragoons. The action base. And here's the dragoon system. Or the wing unit, if you will. It seems like this is going. The wing unit is going to take just as long as the legs did, if not longer. Oh yeah, the wings will take. Wow, the wings are a lot longer than I thought. And here we have the beam rifle, and along with the beam sabers. A few things you can do with the kit, so you can lower the back waist down, so you can put the railguns behind the Strike Freedom. And it shows you how to operate the railguns on top here. And you can put the beam rifles on the side. And it shows you how to adjust the wings or the dragoons. And there's a manual. And that's all. And that's everything that's inside the box. Thank you all for watching. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit winded, I do apologize. I just am very surprised that there are that many parts inside this kit, but it is a perfect grade, and for those who have built them, you know that it can be quite a lot. So this is exciting, and it's going to be a very big project. It's going to take me some time to complete, but I'll be sure to keep you posted as time goes on for this kit. But like I said before, this is a kit I've been wanting to build for many years. When I first came out, I've been wanting to get it since, but I decided to just wear it off, and I finally was able to get my hands on it. So I am very excited and just want to see how this is going to turn out, and really see how the paint is going to turn out as well. Like I said, I am going to paint the gold runners a little bit, and maybe paint over some of those reddish, pinkish parts and make them look a little bit more bright red. So we'll see about how that's going to turn out. But if you haven't done so, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more video updates. I have two videos here for you to enjoy. One for my previous video, and the other one YouTube is going to pick up for you. Be sure to follow me on other social media platforms. I have an Instagram and Reddit account as of right now. So be sure to follow me there. Reddit, I'll just post about what I've been working on, along with other nerdy things as well. So with all that being said, again, thank you all for watching, and until next time, keep on building.